following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network. This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
We're committed to being great here. I'm proud to represent Washington State. I know the people that wear their Cougs all across this country, they're proud to be a part of Washington State. Why not be here? Why not cheer on this team? Why not see this environment and make it something special? What an opportunity to show who we are as Cougs.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zeppos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now, live from Zeppos, alongside Cougar head coach Jake Dickert, here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Happy homecoming week. The Cougs with that homecoming matchup Saturday afternoon against Hawaii. Here we are at Zeppos for the Cougar Football Hour, fresh off of another Cougar victory. Washington State 5-1 on the season, 25-17 win over Fresno State. We'll have Essa Pole join us later tonight, but right now, next to, as always, the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert. Great to see you. How are you doing?
Well, I just got that homecoming vibes going. Yesterday, and you start looking through the traditions of every school and been to a bunch of different ones, but Washington State's just as good as it gets. Got to see, I believe, the fraternity sorority chariot races yesterday from my office window. The band was out there in the pouring rain. The show must go on, right? They're preparing for something great. Great to see a bunch of alumni back. I know there's football alumni from all different years, I would say decades, so it's just going to be one of those celebrations. And then obviously a 12:30 kickoff football game is right in our wheelhouse, and it's just going to be a heck of a Saturday.
There we go, and it's been about a month since the last home game for the Cougs, so a great opportunity for everyone to come out and cheer on the team. So as we said, 5-1 on the year. Let's go back to Saturday. The team on the road against Fresno State, 25-17. How was the squad able to come away with that road victory?
Well, we talked about it last week, Chris. It was going to be a tough win. I mean, we just know going in there, Fresno, a lot of pride, a great physical football team, played Michigan down to the wire, and it was going to be a 60-minute football game. We talked to the team. Let's find a way to get it to the fourth quarter and find a way to win that game. And what I love about our guys is they don't flinch. That is proven now, and I think anytime you play close games like the Apple Cup, like San Jose, another one in Fresno, it just builds such conviction in what our guys are doing. And I was going up and down the sideline in that fourth quarter like, we want this moment. Expect to get the ball, want to go make the play. Don't shy away from it. And I think that's what our team kept doing. And it's just fun to see their energy. And we're not going to apologize for winning, Chris. I know that. I know we're not going to, because it's one of those things where, it is a great gutsy win on the road, harsh environment. Fresno showed up. I mean, it was a sold-out 40,000 crowd, and our guys got it done. And we got to sing the song with a bunch of Cali Cougs that came out there and supported us. So it was just kind of an awesome win Saturday night.
When it came to making the play, the one that stands out in that game, Ethan O'Connor, his pick six, 60 yards, under 7 minutes left to go. Red shirt freshman's got those great Coug bloodlines with his uncle Jason David. Can you walk us through that moment, that play, and how he was able to make it happen?
Well, I think it was cool. I mean, obviously, we were in a little bit of a stalemate. Down one at the time. They had the ball a little bit driving. And the awesome part of it, Chris, when you really study the film, is they ran that same play to really the same call earlier in the game in the first quarter. And Ethan, if you remember, I think it was one of the, play 4, it was a catch tackle. And one of those things, you get on the iPad, you go watch it. If I get this opportunity, these splits, they didn't quite space it out as well as they did on the first one, and he was just there. And there's one thing Ethan has, because when we recruited Ethan, there was a staff debate. Should he be a wide receiver? Should he be a DB? And obviously through the bloodline, it was real simple about where he was directed to be, and he just has that mindset. So he's got great hands, great feel for the ball in space, and pick six, score, obviously get us up in that game feeling good. And then, kind of the kickoff fiasco, they get down at the 1 yard line. We get a field goal out of that situation, and then the defense to go out there and put the ball game away was a big deal. So Ethan's been great through 6 games, and he's only a redshirt freshman. I mean, it's just been really impressive to watch.
And not his first takeaway of the year either. He's had multiple interceptions. So what he's
Is that his third pick?
Been able to do, third pick for him. It's been awfully special for him. And, big picture, picture for the defense. We talked about it. That's a tough road environment. That's a talented Fresno State team. You hold them to 17 points on their own field. That's a heck of an accomplishment.
Well, it's one of those things. I mean, we talked it again today in the captain's meeting. Good teams find a different way to win. And I think we've said that a couple times up here. But every once in a while, the offense, if you're going to sputter a little bit throughout 12 games, and the defense picked them up. Sometimes the defense been a little off, the offense has picked them up. And, those are the things that I think real teams do. They don't draw barriers. They don't try to do it alone. They understand they're going to need each other throughout the course of a 12-game tough football season. So to see our guys continue to do that and to see the defense respond after every challenge, I mean, they did after Portland State. They did after, obviously Boise in this contest. So it was fun to see a bunch of guys make a bunch of different plays.
And when you talk about a bunch of guys making a bunch of different plays, someone who flashed when he was out there was Keith Brown. What allowed him to maximize his opportunities out there in the field?
Well, I think it's all about, staying ready. And it really, trust is built on the practice field. So if you can prove to your coaches, your teammates, your organization that you're ready for those moments, you earn more reps. And he's gone out there the last couple of weeks, Chris, and really just played well. I think, KT is a mature football player. He understands he's playing two special teams. He's a better player when he plays 50 snaps instead of 80. And if Keith can bridge that gap, we're getting 20 to 25 quality reps out of Keith. He really showed a innate skill to go out there and rush the passer. I mean, he did a couple different things. He was in there at the end of the game. He had the one big sack, which took him back out of field goal range, and they missed it. That was the intentional grounding. So he's carving out a role. And I think good teams have those guys that play 20 to 25 just impressive snaps, whether that's defense, special teams, O-line, rotational tight ends, receivers. And those are the guys that really make your team have some good depth. So he's one of those guys that have been, pretty impressive. And another guy I go to is like a Tanner Moku. Tanner's played tons of reps for us and mostly been a special teamer throughout his career. But he's always stayed ready. He's always been poised. And he's really learned from Coach Malone in this system. So guys like that really embody, I think, what it is to be a Coug and why our team has been so successful this year.
On the offensive side of the ball, we talked about it on the pregame show last week, but that was the first time those five have been out there on the starting line with Fa'alili Fa'amoe in there as a starter. He'd rotated after coming back. How do you feel like it went just having those five out there as that starting five on the O-line?
I mean, that's really where we needed to go, and I think Lili is ready to go. I mean, he played a really impressive game. There's still some things where he's identified, now through playing in some rotation through 3 games that he needs to continue to get better with. Christian has played pretty much everything but center throughout our offensive line through his 4 years here. So he continues to be a warrior. And I think Essa, who we're going to talk to here later, has just been a stalwart. So to see some continuity there, we'll go forward with that group. And obviously Rod Telavea is still ready to go when called upon. And, we'll see. But it's been a good competitive group, and I thought they did a good job of keeping John upright.
Pumped to talk to Essa coming up. Not only a great story for him, but he's another guy with Coug connections in his family, and we'll dive into that coming up. Wayshawn Parker has at least one 20-yard run in all 7 games, and those 7 carries of 20 yards or more are the most by a freshman in the nation. That 20-yard run against Fresno State came at a big time. How was it to be able to lean on him at the end there when it got the team into field goal range and made it that crucial 8-point lead?
Well, I think Wayshawn, first of all, just as a true freshman coming in here as a mid-year and to be able to do what he's done. I don't know the history of running backs at Washington State, but I mean this is the making of something I think really, really special. And he just has that it factor, and he craves the ball, wants the big moments, and I think has been really good. We'll continue to talk about we need to get him the ball more early and often and stay ahead of the chains and set up our pass game and not put so much on John running. So we've obviously had those conversations, but just been excited about how he's been able to shoulder that load. And I just think he's scratching the surface of what he's really going to become. And he'd be the first one to come up here and give credit to the O-line. But there's some impressive things that he does at the second level that I wish we would say we're teaching them those things. We recruited that, right? That's recruiting. Running back is recruiting. Like, you can take them through bag drills and, okay, here's a little ball coming at you, avoid that. But you can't teach him what he's doing there in live bullets. It's just been fun to watch him work, and he's been a real bright spot for our offense.
Well, an excellent job by you and everyone on the staff of recruiting him. Because
Rob Schlager, I would say this, him and Coach Atawaya. Rob is our general manager. We have kind of an NFL-style system. I know you get a chance to talk with him every Thursday. He goes through our young guys, and we had a big scalpel today. It was the hardest hitting scalpel, Chris. Did you stay for the whole thing?
Oh, I saw. I got it. Yep.
Gage Jones just eliminated Chris Barnes on the sideline. I had to kick Frank out. He had targeting. We did have live quarterback play. It was awesome. So just fun to see these young guys play, and just credit to our whole staff and I think some of the young talent that we've been bringing in.
So neat to see the intensity out there this morning at Giesa Field. Something we touched on last week, and I think even on the first coaches show as well, you talked about environments and where the Cougs were going on the road this year. And you mentioned how that's a tough environment to go into. Fresno State, they'd won of their last 20 home games. They were 17-3. Was the environment how you remember it when you made trips there in the past?
Yeah, I said this earlier in my press conference. It was half-off beer night. So the environment was even a little bit higher than normal, I think, from what I remember. And they keep you so far away. So they gate off the concession area, and you march right through these guys, and they're saying all kinds of craziness to you. It's awesome. It gets you fired up. That's if you're a competitor, you love that. Because I walk back out of there saying, I don't hear you guys anymore, right? So it's fun. You got to go get that. And but that makes they're going to be a Pac-12 rival. Absolutely. They're going to be a new Pac-12 foe, and it's going to be a really competitive place to play, and those are the things that are fun. Our guys love it. Most of the California kids have tons of family there, and that's a good opportunity to obviously play local, and I think that's what the new Pac-12 is going to be about.
A wise man once said, and I believe I'm sitting next to that wise man, and I think it was right here last week, you control the volume of the opposing fans. And at the very end of the game, when it mattered, the Cougs were able to turn that volume level down. Yeah,
and there's no question. You get an opportunity to sing your fight song in someone else's stadium. I don't care where it is, and that's not like we get to do it. I just mean to earn a victory on the road. We talked about how crazy college football was 2 weeks ago, all those teams losing on the road. It's hard to do. So proud of our team and proud of the effort that they went out there and got it done.
Well, so much to get to tonight. We'll be back with Coach Dickert after this. Again, Essa Pole going to stop by as well. We'll preview that Hawaii game. The Cougs homecoming Saturday, a 12:30 kick. Derek Dice, Grady Emerson will get our coverage started at 10:30 coming up on Saturday. Quick reminder, Cougar Nation, each time you bring your Toyota vehicle to be serviced at a local and participating Toyota dealership, you can receive a premium Washington State giveaway item as a member of the Toyota Rewards program. To join the program, visit WSUCougars.com/Toyota Rewards. More from Zeppos on the Cougar Football Hour right after this. You are listening to Washington State football from Learfield.
Dear Autumn Leaves, you won't be covering roads alone this season. Toyota's lineup of cool, colorful vehicles is ready to ride by your side. Take on fall in a trail-tackling Tacoma or go for the powerful Tundra. Head to Toyota.com for more info or visit your local Toyota dealership today. Toyota, let's go places.
You may be eager to break ground on a new outdoor project, but never just start digging. Buried electric and natural gas lines can be anywhere. It's the law to call 811 at least 2 business days before you dig. Spray paint white lines showing your dig zone, and a crew will mark the utility lines. Mark accuracy zone is within 2 feet of the mark, so always hand dig to expose the line first. Call 811 before you dig. The service is free for residential customers. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Are you interested in your company reaching Coug fans in and out of game day? As the multimedia rights holder for Washington State Athletics, Washington State Sports Properties helps companies and organizations connect themselves to Cougar Athletics in unique and exciting ways. From LED signs to pregame parties to the radio ad you're hearing right now, Washington State Sports Properties is helping companies both large and small get in front of Coug fans on a daily basis. Reach out to Washington State Sports Properties to learn more about what sponsoring the Cougs can look like for you.
This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
In business, just like sports, it's all about the team you assemble to get the job done. And for over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has put an all-star team together of the best siding, window, and roofing installers in the business. So if you're in the market for an upgrade, remodel, or add on to your home, give the pros at McVeigh Brothers Roofing, Siding, and Windows a call today. We'll come out and give you a free estimate. McVeigh Brothers Siding and Windows. We're always working for you.
This is the Cougar Football Hour. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Welcome back to Zeppos here on the Cougar Football Hour. Washington State getting ready for that homecoming matchup Saturday against Hawaii. 12:30 kickoff from Giesa Field. And we're going to get into the game here coming up in a little bit. But something that's really exciting as part of just the Saturday festivities, it will be the ribbon cutting for the Taylor Sports Complex. I know you've had a chance to go in there. I was lucky enough to get a sneak peek today. This thing is just unbelievable for fans who have heard about it, but then it's going to be unveiled. What would you like everyone to know about what this means for Cougar football?
Well, I think it's just huge, and I'll expand it to really all of Cougar athletics. I mean, just a amazing facility. I think one of those kind of crown jewel pieces of our university, of our athletics department, and just so many people that have really poured into this. And obviously the Taylor family and what they've done and what that means to our program. But obviously the winners here in the Palouse and our training and our developmental process to be able to go in there, not just for cold weather, obviously air quality stuff. I mean, there's just so many different things that this facility has been needed for so long. And when you walk in there, I mean, you just remember what the old bubble was like. And this actually has real lights, and the walls don't feel like they're caving in on you, and you can kick the ball. And it's just so cool to have a facility like that just our players can be proud of, our fans, our alumni, our university. It just kind of has been much needed. And, like I said, I think last week on the show, like Mike Price, after they went to the Rose Bowl, they started this campaign, and to see it go all the way to fruition is like just a real proud moment, for all Cougs out there. And to have the ribbon cutting this weekend is just very fitting as we get into late October and November.
And it looks like Saturday we're going to have pretty good weather. But
it's going to be great.
But for Hawaii, they'll probably feel about like 30 degrees when it's 62 here.
They do have heated benches coming in.
Do they really?
Yeah. I mean, I think you got to order those a while out in advance. And, October 19th, you see the schedule. You could it could well be 30 degrees.
That's fair.
It could be, 70. Obviously, it's going to be 60 degrees. So I think they ordered those well in advance. But, to have something like this has just been pretty amazing.
You have a mid-October homecoming game. It's like the perfect weather. Going to be so much fun. Just a absolutely A-plus day on the Palouse. One other thing that I want to ask you about, the creative team does such a great job, but one video that came out this week was a pretty special moment that you were able to deliver for a player. Can you fill us in on the good news that you were able to share in front of the whole team?
First off, Carson Rorick, the creative genius, is in the building. Stand up, Carson, and take a round of applause. I mean, just...
Essa, you might have to lift him up. Essa Pole is right next to him. He's shaking his head. But
just what he has brought, and we've kind of went to an all-access approach, Chris. I mean, we've never had so many microphones and cameras and footage of different things, and taking, fans and alumni into our meetings and kind of how we, run our program and teach our program. And I think it's been really, really cool. And I obviously trust Carson because I wear a microphone for game day. So I think there's a lot of things on there that he has. But we got the chance to give Bryson Lamb a scholarship, and I think it's a really proud moment in your football program because, you have 85 guys on scholarship, you have 120 on the roster. All those walk-on guys are just fighting for something really special, and they don't get the same benefits of a scholarship player, yet we treat them the same, we expect the same, the standards the same, and to see someone like that break through, he's on average played about 30 plays a game for us, but just really proud of him, and it was just the right moment. Those Friday night meetings are something that are really special for our football team because sometimes, we just teach them about life, not just football, and we go through a bunch of different things. We have fun, we get serious, but to give him a scholarship and much deserved and earned, and to see the response of our guys is just so cool, and it was really cool to see because like him and Christian Hilborn, these guys battle, right? They battle, and there's been some skirmishes, I would say, right? The first person to congratulate him is Christian Hilborn because he has such respect for how Bryson goes about it, and just well deserved. So really, really proud of Bryson.
Absolutely love it. Well, we will take another break here from Zeppos. When we come back, we'll talk about this week's opponent, Hawaii. Again, Essa Pole will stop by a little later on as well, and we'll get to our listener and audience questions. It's all after this time out. You're listening to the Cougar Football Hour from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. For your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
We all know there are morning people and not so morning people. But now that McDonald's has bagels, the morning people demographic might just have to make room for some new members of the club. Talk about a game changer.
There's no better way to wake up. Try McDonald's hearty steak, egg, and cheese bagel with a juicy steak patty and grilled onions, fluffy eggs, and melty cheese. Or try one with smoky bacon or savory sausage at participating McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light. Choose chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. Celebrate responsibly.
Back at Zeppos on the Cougar Football Hour. Here with the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert. 5-1. Washington State has the homecoming matchup. Geisa Field, 12:30 kickoff Saturday against Hawaii. Let's talk about the Rainbow Warriors. They lead the Mountain West Conference in scoring defense, giving up on average just 20 points per game, and total defense. What's allowed them to be so stingy defensively this year?
Well, I think they fly around. I mean, to get everyone's attention, you pause the film with 9 minutes left in the game against Boise. It's 13-7, and they have the ball. And it's just one of those things where they're physical, they're aggressive. I mean, I've played, this Hawaii team back in my time at Wyoming, and, they're known for being aggressive, playing fast. They got a little bit different scheme than they have been, but they tackle extremely well. They disguise their coverages. They play a bunch of man. They get in your face. They want to blitz you. They've kept everybody off balance this season, and obviously the numbers speak for themselves, and we're halfway through the season. So obviously one of those opponents where you got to play well, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They've been stingy in a bunch of different realms. They really cut the head off the snake. They take away the run game. They make you one-dimensional, and they try to get you behind the chain so now they can go attack you. So the challenge is real. You will see at the second level, smaller type linebackers than you would normally see. But these guys are fast, they're quick, they're running sideline to sideline, and they've been a problem. So up front, they got a bunch of hard chargers and high motor guys. I mean, they're getting off the ball, they're playing aggressive, they don't stay blocked. So that's been the recipe, for success, and I expect them to try to continue that on Saturday.
That Boise State game you talked about, that was last week. They trailed 13-7 heading into the fourth quarter, and everyone's had a hard time keeping Ashton Jeanty under wraps, and Boise State was able to get the win, but right there within striking distance in the fourth quarter. They lost to UCLA by only 3. Is it really kind of the defense that's allowed them in those games to be so close?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, just like anything else. I mean, you can look at the record or you could look at the film and the facts, and, it's one of those things where, a couple of balls bounce their way here and there. I mean, that record can flip like that. They've been in so many different one-score games, and, obviously when you play good defensive football, you're never out of it. I've been on those type of teams, and, that's kind of the way they're playing right now. And, if it's been opportunistic, when they get takeaways, they can create some offense, and, they've been, doing a really good job. So, obviously the challenge will be real, and we have to take care of the football. I think they really get even more energized, just like any other defense. They get some takeaways. They're ripping and stripping at the ball constantly, and they're going to, try to cause problems for John and not let him get comfortable in the pocket. Like, that is their MO. So we're going to have to try to combat that and be really good in protection.
When you think of their head coach, Timmy Chang, you think of offense because he's over the record book all over the place. Such a successful quarterback at Hawaii. They run the run and shoot. What is it like going against their version of the run and shoot after playing San Jose State earlier this year?
Well, I would definitely say this is the more authentic version. Obviously, and you just talked about it. Coach Chang was obviously a great quarterback and could sling it all over the yard. And they got another great quarterback that can sit back there and has been, obviously a couple of years starter. And he's one of those guys that is, can do a lot of different things with the ball. I mean, their version of it is more authentic. They have the kind of the base run plays. They will be very creative to get the ball out in space, getting out on time. And then obviously they've had a bunch of explosive plays down the field. Their receivers, a lot of times in run and shoot, you'll have a bunch of small, quick guys. They got a bunch of 6-foot guys that can go stretch the field. Number 5 has been just tremendous over the top and in the middle. And, obviously the running back has been crafty and creative. So it's a unique style of play. Obviously San Jose's was more RPO, vertical. The Nash kid was just a flat-out problem. So they do it a little bit more as a collective than just one guy. So same thing we said during that week, you got to disrupt the passer. I mean, every down is almost third down, right? They mix in the run. They don't depend on the run. So a bunch of crafty screen game that you got to protect that can really, rip you if you're in the wrong calls. So we got to try to be aggressive and affect the quarterback, and that's not a Hawaii thing. I think that's an every week thing, and you saw that a little bit more last week. When we do that, we can stay ahead of what we want to do defensively.
And that has been an issue for them, especially against Boise State. Had a harder time keeping the quarterback upright, and their quarterback Braden Shager, you mentioned him. He's made 28 straight starts, so this isn't his first rodeo.
Yeah, and I would say when you really started the Boise, they didn't start really get to him until the score started to get out, right? When they were in rhythm and it was a one-score football game, I mean, they did a good job protecting the quarterback. Now when they knew they had to pass and they knew there was no option of run, Boise did a good job attacking those different type of situations. So, it was a close ball game. Great quarterback. I think their special teams have been, really effective, and we got to try to lean that third phase of the game our way because I think that's how, you start to tilt the field and get your offense rolling.
Makes for a fun matchup. Saturday, Gisa Field, the Cougs for homecoming, hosting Hawaii. Coach, we'll let you enjoy Zeppos for now and get some food. We'll bring you back a little later on.
Yeah, absolutely. You enjoy Essa now. It's quite the story.
Here we go, Essa Pole, and we're excited to get to that story. Cougar offensive lineman will join us next. First, a reminder, earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurant, lounges, luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. And we'll have more from Zeppos after this. You're listening to Cougar Football Hour from Learfield.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2024 to March 2025. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneAirports.net.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Bro, you go hard for the WSU Cougs.
What do you mean?
You're literally wearing a Coug jersey that you bought from the Coug store with your Coug debit card. And you don't stop talking about how every time you use your card, Gisa donates to the Cougar Athletic Fund.
I guess I do go pretty hard for my Cougs.
If you go hard for your Cougs, get your WSU card today at Gisa.com. Go Cougs!
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Hey, Cougar fans, the 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Washington State football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Washington State Cougars. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
The Cougs get the stop! The Cougs get the stop! Cougs take over!
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Back at Zeppos on the Cougar Football Hour, and we are excited to welcome in Essa Pole, starting tackle for the Cougs. Essa, it's great to see you. How you doing tonight?
I feel great. I'm just happy to be in front of the fans and the Coug community. When I first walked in, I thought I was in the wrong place because there were so many people here. Just know that we love y'all, and yeah, just blessed to be here.
You very much were in the right place. I can tell you that. A lot of people excited to see you, excited to hear from you. You've got a great story. Let's dive into this. You're thriving as a Coug now. You have Coug bloodlines. Your older brother, Tony. Coug fans know that name so well for his accomplishments as a player right around a decade ago, but your path here was a little different than his. Can you tell us about your journey to picking up football and then becoming a Coug?
Oh, man, I hope I have enough time to tell those stories, man. Well, I first started off, I was in high school. I didn't play football, obviously. I played basketball, and my mom wasn't really the big football fan. She would believe in protecting, my brain. She felt I was a good student, so she's like, nah, football's not for you. Then after high school, basketball wasn't really working out. I had some D2s, but I felt like that wasn't really the path that I was on. I started working. I was working with my dad. I was working at Shoe Palace. I was the biggest shoe salesman in the store.
You could show them right where the size, 18s were? You knew that part of the store.
You're going to go over here, the kids over here, toddlers over there, and stuff like that. But, and then, I was under the care of my older brother, Tony Pole. You guys are well aware who that is. And I went up to him and I said, I think I want to try football. And the light just lit in his eyes and the light lit in mine. And from then on, I went to the local junior college just down the street from my house and walked on. And I told the coach, can I play? And he just...
I would think there wasn't a lot of resistance to that question.
Not much fight there. I went over there. My brother was obviously a defensive tackle, so he trained me to play D-tackle. He wanted me to play 3-tech. I had some one-on-one camps that I actually attended, and I did fairly well in terms of pass rush. And I remember there was just one play that I messed up my foot, and it took me out for a couple weeks. And then during that time where I was trying to work my way back into practicing, Coach Fernandez, our head coach at junior college, pulled me to his office and said, I think we want you to play offensive line. And, I'm bittersweet about it. I'm like, I think I'm a D-tackle, but, I just started playing football like 2 months prior to that conversation. So I'm not going to say, I know what I'm doing. I know football more than you. So I'm like, yeah, I put my faith in you, and you know more than me. And it kind of took off from there. My first year, I have the starting job. Second series of our first game, I messed up my knee. And I'm just looking like I'm in that dark mode. I'm like, what am I doing? Should I go back to work? But my brother just stayed in my ear and told me, keep the process in your head and know that, there's something that I see in you that you don't see yet. And so I kept working. Off season before my second year was big. 2-a-days often, still working under my dad, still conditioning, still doing a lot of stuff. And once that year started, I knew that I was playing at a different speed. The game was slowing down, and now I'm here, and now I'm just blessed to be a Coug.
Well, and again, and that deserves a big round of applause here. When you talk about when you're picking up football, I don't know if everyone really recognizes just that wasn't that long ago. How many years ago did you pick up the game of football? I picked it up 4 years ago, and I was just so fresh. I was so new. I was natural at pass protecting, but I did not understand a run concept for my life. They were saying run right, and I ran the other way. And there was just a lot of stuff that I still needed to learn about the game itself. It did take a lot of work. It did take a lot of time off the field with my brother, learning, watching the guys in the league. And something that my brother always was really adamant about was that he was showing me clips of NFL guys. He wasn't showing me clips of the best JUCO guy. He wasn't showing me clips of the best D1 tackle. He was showing me clips from NFL guys and just showing me the speed that I need to play at, the technique that they're using at the league. If they can use it and they're practicing every day to learn these techniques, what makes you think you're better? So just a big ups to him, big ups to the Heavenly Father for the blessings that he's blessed me with. But 4 years ago, I would not think that I was in this position right now. And once again, I'm just blessed. And you are thriving as a Coug. Well, we'll have a little tease here because you talk about your brother, who's a wonderful mentor, and you've got a story about him. We'll get to that when we return. I know that's got a big smile on your face. We're here with Essa Pole on the Cougar Football Hour. We'll be back with Essa coming up. Coach Dickert will rejoin us as well. That's all after this. We're live from Zeppos. You're tuned in to the Cougar Football Hour from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024, U.S. Bank.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
No one looks forward to cheering on their favorite team quite like a Cougs fan. And no one does game day quite like Northern Quest, with over a dozen restaurants and lounges in play, including Epic Sports Bar. Catch every game on Epic's 10-foot by 30-foot HD TV and tackle an epic lineup of wings, burgers, beers, and more like your quarterback depended on it. Northern Quest, the only way to do game day. Go Cougs!
This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Get game day ready at Rosars. Rosars is a proud sponsor of WSU Athletics and your headquarters for keeping snacks stocked up for game time. You'll find the largest craft beer selection, local and imported wines, and all the makings for your favorite cocktails. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite deli snacks, pizza, rotisserie chickens, and ribs. Don't just watch the game, experience it with your favorite game time foods. Get game day ready at Rosars.
Get your home turf ready to play with the game-changing performance of Steel. Enjoy big savings this fall on Steel handheld outdoor power equipment. Find yours at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Steel is a proud supporter of your Washington State Cougars. Real Steel. Find yours.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
He'll run himself, still up on his feet, looking for a blocker. He's still going. Touchdown, John Mateer. 3rd and 20 from the 25. Doesn't matter. Mateer makes some magic again.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Well, the Junior Cougs Kids Club is presented by Toyota. It's the official kids club of the Washington State Cougars, and it is the best way for the youngest members of Cougar Nation to show off their Cougar pride. Find out more information about your Junior Cougs membership perks at wsu.com/JRCougs. We are back here. Another great crowd here at Zeppo's. What a wonderful Thursday night we have each and every week with our great turnout for the Cougar Football Hour. We'll have Coach Dickert rejoin us here in a few minutes, but we're back here with Essa Pole. And Essa, I wanted to make sure to get this story in. So this last game back in your home state of California, we talked about your brother Tony. Well, he was there, right? And what can you tell us about maybe some confusion that some, critical folks had about your brother?
Yeah, so one of our guys came up to me after the game and was telling me that, I got a funny story for you. And I'm like, okay, let's hear it. And so we're obviously wearing our white jersey, and my brother's wearing my jersey that he bought, and it was also white. And my brother is a stocky dude. He fills out a jersey like he has pads on. So he was apparently we were playing on the field, and we're down there, and he's standing on the sideline just like this. And apparently the ref ran by and said, "Get that player off the field." Mind you, if we had the ball, I'm on the field. I'm wearing 76, so it was definitely the right word, confusion. But it was just funny. He took his little waddle to the side and still stood there, planted, just watching me, eyeing me, making sure my steps are right and everything. He's still my coach. No matter where I go, he's still gonna be nitpicky about my technique. But yeah, that was the funny story. They thought he was a player.
I love that. And he's got a lot to be proud of, seeing what you have done and doing here at his alma mater. Makes homecoming this week special. Essa, you've got a fantastic story. It has been so fun to hear it from you tonight. Congrats on all the success this year, and can't wait to see you and your teammates in action at Essa Field for that homecoming matchup, 12:30 on Saturday.
Oh, yeah, man. Exciting.
Let's give it up. Essa Pole joining us here on the Cougar Football Hour. We will take a break. When we come back, Coach Dickert will rejoin us. We'll get to some of our audience listener questions. That's all after this timeout. Here from Zeppo's, you're listening to the Cougar Football Hour from Lear Field.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Coug fans, you love rooting for the Crimson and Gray, and now McDonald's has even more for you to cheer about. Because this season, you can score big with the 20-piece McNuggets bundle when you order on the McD app. Get 20 golden, juicy McNuggets, plus 2 orders of the medium fries you know and love, all for just $11.99. McDonald's and Cougars football, now that's what I call a W. Must opt into rewards at participating McDonald's, valid through 2024-25 football season. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Back after this local timeout on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
Spokane International Airport is a proud sponsor of Washington State University Athletics. The airport connects Cougar fans and alums with over 60 daily departures to more than 20 nonstop destinations provided by 7 major airlines, as well as one-stop connections to most major metropolitan centers throughout the U.S. Real-time arrival and flight departure information is available at SpokaneAirports.net. Spokane International Airport, when it's time to fly.
This is the Cougar Football Hour. Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. Here's the voice of the Cougs, Chris King.
Back with the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert, here at Zeppos on the Cougar Football Hour, and it's time to get to our listener audience questions. They always deliver. They're always good.
They always deliver. They always make me a little nervous, but they always deliver.
We'll keep you on your toes here. Let's the quarter zip you have goes right into this one perfectly. We've got kind of a two-part question. Drew Kalahar on social media. Who picks out the uniform combo each week? Captains, coaches, your kids. Love the look this week. And we got one other one. Zach said, I'm across the street with a brand new baby boy, so congrats to Zach. Can't make it to the show. He said, is it weird I woke the baby up by shouting when I saw our helmets for the game? He also wanted to give a shout-out to Mom and Grandpa who are here in the audience.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Well, first off, critical error. Like, never wake up a sleeping baby. That's number one. Rookie mistake. I mean, don't go there. That's bad. That's, Dad 101. You're like, number one, don't do that. But, yeah, we talked about a little bit about just kind of honoring the past and the history, every homecoming. We just have a bunch of different logos, the scripted Cougs, the Wazoo. We wore the scripted Cougs last year in the Apple Cup. And, obviously the Sailor Coug, I believe we're calling it, if I nailed that right. I don't know the great history of it, but something different, something new, a little bit fresh. I mean, for homecoming is a great thing to do. And our equipment guys, actually, they're the ones that pick out the uniform combinations. I have absolutely nothing to do with that. Besides, when we go on the road, make sure, obviously, we're in white. But those guys enjoy it. And, unfortunately, we've phased out the anthracite helmet. Okay, so we're kind of going with the white, the gray, and the crimson. So it's been a really good combination.
I believe the approval rating is off the charts for what the Cougs are wearing this week.
The response has been fantastic. So I wish I could tell you exactly where to go get the gear, but it's out there. Hopefully crimson and gray and at the bookie.
It's a sharp look. There's no doubt about it. One of our questions here about the connection with Hawaii. There's been a lot of talented Cougs from Hawaii over the years. Can you talk about the recruiting pipeline and what it takes to, have that as a big part of, the culture and the program, that it's been that way over the years. A lot of great connections there.
Yeah, I think as you study just kind of Washington State in general, and, you go back to, obviously, the Hawaiian pipeline, the Samoan pipeline, really the Polynesian pipeline, and Essa is just a great example of that, and Nusi Malani and Falili and the Hawaiians on our team, Tanner Moke Opoku and Kapena Gushikin, and obviously it's just been a really great fit for them in Pullman. I think small community, big college, once they get used to the weather, right? I mean, it's one of those things where once they get used to it, they bring energy to our team. They've been an integral part. Obviously, Coach Atawai, Frank Miley, and many coaches in the past that have just kind of led our Polynesian pipeline. And I know, obviously, Jack Thompson comes to speak to our guys all the time. So it's an integral part of our recruiting. Coach Mark will probably come up here and tell you stories of how he has to travel from here to America Samoa, and that's no easy task, but we'll continue to do that, and it's in our main recruiting area as we continue to build up our football roster.
Boy, there have been some great Cougs with that pipeline. It is fun to think back on that. This is a question. I'm curious your answer for this. Which games are more fun to coach, blowout victories or down-to-the-wire games?
Well, what do you guys think? I mean, what's fun for you guys to watch? Well, I just think they're definitely different, and every game is not created the same way. And the biggest thing is you just got to take them one at a time. And obviously the blowout wins. I mean, we can relax a little bit in the fourth quarter, but these are the moments. If you're a competitor, you just love being in that arena and that atmosphere and seeing how you react. And obviously when you prevail in those moments, that's the best, because you just know the toughness that goes into it. All the hard work. And, I just think back to, once again, training in the snow without the indoor facility. I think back to spring practice. I think back to the summer and the fall. And when you're in those tight games, I remind those guys, like, we're trained for this. We're built for this. And I would imagine as a fan, there was some nervous energy, in some of those games. But you just got to keep swinging. And we talked Friday night a lot, in Carson's Rewind about belief. And I believe, it's fundamental. It is. And if you can't believe you can achieve it and you can't see that vision, there's just no way you can go out there and execute that. So for our guys not to flinch in a lot of these big game moments has been really cool for a coach. I mean, it just is. And proud of those guys, because at the end of the day, however I feel, I'm not doing it. They are. We try to put them in the best situation possible to go out there and get it done. But this is a player's game. I think there's coaching and edges and all these things that you can give a player, but those are the guys that have to go out there and do it together, and to see them succeed is a really, really cool thing for a coach.
It's pretty interesting to think about. We're roughly at the halfway point of the season. There have been some incredible moments this year. Incredible moments.
It's probably been great to call from the booth, right?
It couldn't be better.
Ratings are up.
Yeah. It has been so exciting, and there's a lot of exciting moments still to come. So with that, we'll take another break. We'll get to some more questions with Coach Dickert. That's all after this. We're live from Zeppo's talking about that homecoming matchup Saturday with Hawaii. It's the Cougar Football Hour. It rolls on right after this, and this is the Cougar Football Hour from Learfield.
With the WSU debit card from Gisa, it's hard to tell who's supporting who. When Coug fans use their WSU card, they show off their Coug pride, and donations are made back to Cougar Athletics. But the card supports the Coug fan with big savings by helping them grow their money with Smart Plus checking. So, does the card support the Coug fan, or does the Coug fan support the card? It doesn't matter. All that matters is that the WSU card supports Cougar Athletics and your wallet at the same time. Get your WSU card at Gisa.com. Checking account transaction requirements, terms and conditions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill, when your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill, because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
This Washington State University sports broadcast is brought to you in part by Pullman Regional Hospital, the official hospital of Washington State Athletics. The combined expertise of our university and our award-winning hospital are being deployed to provide greater access to resources, education, employment opportunities, and innovations to improve health care and health outcomes for all of us. Learn more at pullmanregional.org. Pullman Regional Hospital and Washington State, partners in excellence.
Nothing works up an appetite like cheering for your Cougs on game day. So why not cheer them on at Northern Quest with an impressive roster of restaurants and lounges? You can tackle the menu at Epic and catch every play on the 10 by 30-foot screen. Or grab a steak at Maslow's, a fine cigar at Legends of Fire, even a burger from Fat Burger. You know, for your inner linebacker. See more at northernquest.com. Go Cougs!
This is the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The tradition, the rivalries. Sirius XM is your destination for all things college sports, and we've got you covered. On Sirius XM College Sports Radio, there's complete coverage of every major conference, including live games, plus 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the Sirius XM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of Sirius XM free. Subscribe now. See offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 24.
Here we are back at Zeppo's on the Cougar Football Hour. Sitting next to the head coach of the Cougs, Jake Dickert. It is homecoming week, but there's also a lot of exciting things going on for WSU athletics right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We got to give a shout-out. We got Coach Schulenberger in the crowd. Let's give it up for our women's soccer team. I know they're playing this weekend. I think they're at Gonzaga on Saturday night after our game. But, obviously it's celebrating that, volleyball, all the other sports that are going on. And everyone's off to a really great start. So our fall sports are getting this thing kicked off.
It is a fun time of year. We're almost to crossover season as well. So a lot of great Cougar teams to cheer on. Let's go to some more of our questions. It's an audience one. Jake, we love you. Thanks for all your Cougar spirit. However, why go for 2 on the first touchdown?
Oh, here we go.
We were chasing the rest of the game. Go Cougs, smiley face. Go. We got a smile over here. We came from Minute Go Cougs, smiley face, though.
There's 37 of those same questions, I believe, in the box. Well, I tell you what, first things first, we're going to play to win. And we design a lot of different things that are challenging on defense and special teams. And guess what? They're not all going to work. I'm sorry. But we wanted to be aggressive. We anticipated a high-scoring game. That's not obviously how it worked out, and we're hoping to get them to chase us, and it flipped on it. So it's one of those things. Trust me, I got a text from my dad too. He's like,
tough crowd.
Vince Lombardi would have kicked the extra point there, Jake. So okay, I agree with that. There's a lot of programs out there. I mean, Oregon does it a ton, and we try to create an edge with it. And guess what? There will be another one at some point this year. Buckle in, everybody. So it's just one of those things we try to create advantage. They're called gate plays. We do it with our field goal unit. We did it against Portland State, and it worked. No one talks about that, right? But at the end of the day, I mean, those are the big decisions. I understand when they don't. They come with consequences, but Coach Whitworth, our special teams coordinator, does a good job with a bunch of that. So that's a fun question. We got to take some hard ones. We can't just have softballs up here.
Wow,
Thanks, Chris.
That was a home run answer. I did not anticipate a Vince Lombardi reference from your dad with that. That was
it wasn't even like congratulations. Just like be careful next time. I'm like, thanks, Dad. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a hard one to top. But we'll have to ask another one here. And we have some excellent questions on social media. I think time-wise, we're not going to be able to get them all. But one here, what's something the offense was focused on fixing this week or working on in practice this week?
Well, I think it was just finishing. I think that was the biggest thing coming out of that game is that football is an awesome game. When you have 10 guys doing amazing things and one guy's not, you will not be successful. So we just kind of identified those points where it just felt like on Saturday it was just one thing and then one thing, and those one things can lead to a bunch of big things. So just doing your job. Don't worry about doing anything more than that. Do it to the best of your ability and finish and have effort and enthusiasm to doing your job. And those are just the little things that I think is going to drive our offense to be successful this week.
Another one here with the busyness of game week. How much time is there to work on growth and improvement during the week compared to preparations for the opponent?
Well, I think there's always a balance, and I think any time where you just go so heavy, Chris, of this is football, all we're learning is football, all we're doing is football, I think you lose that balance, and at the end of the day, they're 18 to 23-year-olds, so it's great. I know this. We're just excited for Saturday. We appreciate all your support. It's awesome. I got some family in the back. I got my friend Kenny Albert there. He's been my friend since I've been 10 years old, my brother, my mom. It's just great. That's what homecoming's all about.
That's perfect. They're in town for homecoming, Coach. Appreciate it. We'll see you there at Essa Field Saturday.
Absolutely. Go Cougs.
Again, a big thank you not only to Jake Dickert, but our guest Essa Pole. Back in the studio, Luke Hallett, Jerry Kylo here on the audio side, Jared Pringruber on the video side. I'm Chris King signing off here from Zappos. We'll be with you Saturday, 12:30 kick. Coverage starts at 10:30. Go Cougs. You've been listening to the Cougar Football Hour live here from Zappos from Learfield.
You've been listening to the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show has been brought to you by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is a proud supporter of Cougar athletics. Together, there's nothing as powerful as the power of us. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, the home for the Cougar Coaches Show, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.